This week on 49ers Cal High Sports Report, presented by U.S. Bank, stories to make you happy. We'll have some of our favorite fun stories from the past 18 years, including the day in the life of Aaron Gordon. We'll revisit James Jones and even go bass fishing. But first up, Sabrina Ionescu, the College Player of the Year in her high school days at Miramonte High.
You never think like, oh, that day's gonna come, but obviously the ball is gonna stop bouncing one day, so just embracing everything that I have now.
The ball will bounce for many days to come for Miramonte senior Sabrina Ionescu. The 6-foot All-American guard has stamped herself as a top 5 player nationally, but I wondered, when did she morph into such a star? As she told me, she grew up being the small, skinny girl. So what changed?
As I started to grow and get stronger and bigger, I think I had more confidence. So maybe high school. I mean, I still don't think I'm that good.
Smart words from a girl who beats teens with her shot, her vision, her defense, but it's something that can't be taught, separating herself from the rest.
She competes on a daily basis. I mean, she loves to win at everything she does, whether it's a team outing where we're having a card game or whether it's in practice in a 3-on-3 drill. She wants to win. And if you're not willing to step up and win with her, she doesn't want to be a part of it.
On most nights, it's not hard to find the best player on the court. It's Ionescu. But Sabrina says her game has to equal those expectations, especially the ones she sets for herself.
You have to come out every game with the same intensity and the same mindset, so you hold yourself to a different standard.
I know 9 times out of 10 she usually is the best, but I don't see that in her. I think she steps on, kind of afraid of failure. I mean, she wants to compete and perform night in and night out.
Her talents are taking her many places.
The under-16 FIBA Americas last year. Ionescu deep in the corner for 3.
Including helping the U-17 U.S. national team to a gold medal in the 2014 FIBA World Championships. A catch for any college coach to have. Even legendary head coach Gino Auriemma from UConn paid her a visit. However, not even Gino was enough to sway Sabrina, not even in her top 10.
I guess you could say I'm different. I think I want to enter a program and do something different like I did here at Miramonte.
Sabrina is considered by many to be the best player to come through Miramonte ever, and one of the best ever from the Bay Area. But it's the final piece of her game, allowing her memory to last a lifetime.
I questioned whether she could be a leader. I knew she would be the best player that ever walked into this school when she, early on in her freshman year. But she's really rallied her team from, our second player, first player to the 13th player. She really embodies that team spirit, so she makes those kids want to win and want to compete.
Another practice, another game. The ball will continue to bounce for Ionescu, even in a friendly game of one-on-one with her twin brother Eddie. Another way to keep her competitive fire burning.
I definitely win. He'll never admit it, but I win. I tend to not play one-on-one anymore because it gets really physical and we kind of go at it. So try to stay away from that, but I win.
When producing a story on the Delta teen bass fishing team, it was a good chance to shed some light on a lesser-known sport. But the first thing we did learn is that you better be a morning person. The first moments of sunrise illuminate the merging waters of the Sacramento Delta. As morning breaks on the maze of waterways, there's no sound to be heard, besides the zip of fishing line in the air. The Delta Teen Team holds tournaments 6 months out of the year. They start them early at 6 a.m. with a 4 a.m. wake-up call.
I don't like getting up early to go to school, but if it's something I like this, I don't mind getting up for it. I'll get up at 1 o'clock in the morning for it.
It's tiring. I get home and I'll probably pass out on my bed, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. It's supposed to be hot, like 102, but that's all right.
As the fishermen and fisherwomen set out on their boats at 6:30 a.m., the tournament starts and continues until 1:30 in the afternoon. Today's format is set at a limit of 4 fish per contestant, with the heaviest cumulative weight coming out the winner. The Delta Teen Team is made up of student athletes from 11 to 18 years old from all over the Bay. And while it's not your traditional ball sport, these anglers believe competitive fishing is a sport nonetheless.
You know, we're not just sitting around waiting for a fish to come. You know, we're out there like doing different things to make these fish bite, and you know, strategy. It's different from any other fishing, and it's just pure fun.
An opinion Delta Teen Team president Gabe Snyder echoes as well.
This is definitely a sport because, you know, there's a lot of a technique that goes into it. You know, like my brother's an avid football player, and he's always like, you know, that's not a sport. You guys don't, you know, you don't condition or practice for it, but you know, really we do. You know, there's guys out here that fish pro-ams, or you know, I've come out here before and you fish sun up, sun down, and it's a toll on your body.
Bass fishing takes a while to get the hang of, with different strategies, poles, and approaches of presenting the bait to the fish. It's not easy, so it takes a craving from these young men and women to get out on the water.
Yeah, the kids get in this club. They're just very passionate about their fishing. They just live to fish, and they keep the enthusiasm and the dream alive. They just, even if they have a tough day, they can still turn around and catch a big one.
And that big one was caught this fall afternoon by none other than Casey Slick. Well, Hunter DeJesus weighed in as the top overall fisherman that day with 9.4 pounds of bass, proving it's all worth it when you hook that monster and pull him in the boat.
You know, do a little dance, scream a little bit, show off a little bit, you know.
It's definitely a good feeling because you catch a big fish. It's just like, and you hook them, and either they start ripping drag or they're shaking their head and they're wanting to fight. It's an adrenaline rush for sure.
An adrenaline rush these student athletes search for every weekend, no matter if it means getting up at 4 a.m. on a Sunday.
Coming up, former Gunderson High School star James Jones, and we take to the lake with a Bay Area rowing club next.
I'm gonna be a ballerina.
Good, better, Emma. Answer to new.
I'm gonna be president.
And the winner for president is Emma Williamson.
I'm gonna start a juice bar.
Emma, the numbers are looking really good. You're gonna start a juice bar.
At U.S. Bank, we believe hard work works. And for everyone working toward a goal, we are here to help.
This is the home of infinite possibilities, where we're setting a new standard of care, where the furthest innovations in medicine connect us back to the simplest forms of healing, where our world-class medical team includes you and those you love most. At Stanford Healthcare, we pride ourselves on providing every kind of care for every kind of patient.
Since 1974, there's been just one goal. One thing we work for. The pursuit binds us together and pushes us forward. One family with one mission. To win for this city. Vamos, San Jose.
49ers Cal High Sports Report is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions. 12 locations now open in the Bay Area. By DGDG.com, where we want you to be a happy car buyer. By the Rikes Center, where goals and dreams become a reality. And by Diablo Motors. Life's too short to drive a crummy car.
Each week we go inside Cal High sports with athletes who are outstanding for a variety of reasons.
Tonight, Marissa, we catch up with an old friend. James Jones was back from Green Bay recently to be honored before a hometown crowd.
Inside Cal High Sports.
No one else will wear number 3 for Gunderson ever again.
He played quarterback for the Grizzlies, but this star athlete nearly never left the field.
Man, it's an honor to put that helmet on. Like I told him today when I talked to him, I wish I had one more chance to put the helmet on. So I told him to go out there and represent it well. And it's an honor to put that helmet on.
What James did for us as a program, taking over at the quarterback position, really took the leadership role that we needed for a program that was in hurt and in need of a leader. And James provided that, really became the guiding light for the whole football team.
While at Gunderson, James and his mom had it rough. At times living out of a car, James had always vowed to make it big so he could help his mom.
Back then it was hard, but we made it through. You know, we had our tough times, but we kept it together and we made it through.
It was big. It was big to see that, to see his struggles and how he persevered and made sure that he was in the right place at the right time and he took care of all the opportunities that he had.
Man, just all the struggles we've been through. I mean, it was an honor. That's what I went through it all for, you know, was to make sure she didn't have to worry anymore and I would be a blessing to her. And, you know, my main motivation was to get her a house, and that's what I did.
From Gunderson, it was on to San Jose State, where James was a standout for the Spartans as a wide receiver. He credits his Spartan coaches for his success in the NFL. After college, James was drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the 3rd round of the 2007 draft. His dreams of playing in the NFL surpassed only by the thrill of catching 5 balls for 50 yards in the 2011 Super Bowl.
Man, first off, it was a dream come true. You know, a lot of hard work, you know, paid off, you know, a lot of hard sweat and tears, you know, to get to the Super Bowl. And, you know, it started all right here. And it was just an honor to be in the Super Bowl, especially win one and get a ring. It's a feeling you can't describe.
So it was here on this field where James Jones first made a name for himself, where he was honored as a Gunderson Grizzly.
It is my great pleasure to introduce James Jones.
The number 3 retired for all time. It is this humbling moment and others like this Jones remembers as he works with his foundation to help others. The memory of the tough times he defeated still fresh in his mind.
All of us that play in the National Football League were blessed to be in that position. And I feel like if you're just in that position playing football, you know, you're in it for the wrong thing. It's about changing lives. And when I first got drafted, that's the first thing I did was start my foundation so I can get out there and start helping these kids and change kids' lives, and hopefully I can help them live out their dream.
James Jones, from Gunderson Grizzly to Green Bay Packer, an NFL star changing lives and making his mama proud. So James was here during his bye week with the Packers to visit his old school and have his number retired. We're all very proud of what he's accomplished, and it's great watching him play for Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm happy. San Jose State alum, great guy.
Absolutely.
Build, one more build, here.
Dedication, strength, endurance, focus.
1526, we're on it, clear, 27.
In every sport, these characteristics are a must if you want to have success. Rowing is no different.
Well, basically we spend like many hours here with everyone every week, like 20 to 25 hours a week.
Just being willing to kind of like push yourself past where you think you should go, and like obviously it's gonna hurt, and you know, you get used to it though, and it's really just about, I guess, the team just pushing each other and really trusting each other to the point to know that you're gonna go hard.
These students are part of the Los Gatos Rowing Club, giving them a place to train and compete for 33 years.
Parents and rowers, masters as we call them now, that had a plan to provide for the juniors in the area, the athletes, young athletes in the area, the sport of rowing.
The Los Gatos Rowing Club is a nonprofit organization responsible for raising the money the club needs to stay afloat.
Most of our funding is done through writing grants and doing fundraising in our community to raise enough money to provide the boats and equipment necessary for our kids to be able to be involved in the sport.
Really what we do is we just turn any money that we make each year back into the program to maintain the equipment, to increase the use of the place, so offering more programs, which we have been doing over the last few years.
Every year, rowing has gained traction with a new wave of popularity throughout the Bay Area.
Rowing has been a very popular sport on the East Coast and in Europe and Canada for many years, and in recent years it has become a bigger and more widespread, I'll call it a craze.
Whether a craze or not, right now the LGRC is home to over 100 local high school students hailing from a collection of different schools throughout the Bay Area.
I just heard about it from my friends and I tried it out and I loved it.
My friend asked me if I wanted to try doing a rowing camp with her, and I was like, rowing? Like that's like arms and body sport, right? And like I came and did it, and like I was obsessed with it.
The hard work is paying off. The Los Gatos Rowing Club is seeing great success, even on the national level.
Results have been great. We've had 3-time national champions in the lightweight women's category. Our men this past year won first place in the pair.
I was one of the girls who went to nationals with my team on the lightweight boat, which was like absolutely an incredible experience.
I wanted to see for myself how tough this sport really is. I saw how hard all these athletes worked, but they made it look so easy. I thought I would give it a try. And I must admit, I thought it was going to be a breeze, but after just 10 minutes in the boat, I couldn't be more wrong. My entire body was exhausted. For a sport being so mentally and physically taxing, it's important to have a close bond with the other rowers in the boat.
Because you work out together and you're like basically dying together, you kind of have to like the people you're with.
Like you kind of like have an emotional connection to each other just because you trust each other and you understand what motivates each other.
Every day, these students come to Lexington Reservoir to push their mind and body to the limit. They are training with the intent of achieving success in the sport of rowing. There is no doubt they are also preparing themselves for the many challenges they will face in life. I was sore for days after just a short run on the water. These young men and women train at such a high level, committing so much of their time and energy to this sport. It truly is amazing.
Yeah, it's an incredible workout, but walking is good. That'll get you in shape for that. I walk a lot. Coming up, the life of a rodeo cowgirl. But first, here is our final Cupertino Electric Top 10 Girls Basketball Poll.
Hi, I'm Greg Meyer, owner of Diablo Motors Auto Sales. Our no-hassle approach makes it fun and easy to buy or sell your next luxury car. We have a great selection of amazing certified pre-owned cars at the best prices anywhere. Why buy new when you can save thousands on one of our finest slightly used cars? We'll have you in and out of the store with your new car in as little as 30 minutes. And we handle financing, extended warranties, and we give top dollar for your trade-in, paid for or not. So come see us in San Ramon for a no-hassle deal. Diablo Motors, the nice, honest, non-dealerish car store.
For more than 65 years, Cupertino Electric has been delivering power and possibilities. With offices throughout California and project sites throughout the U.S., Cupertino Electric today builds renewable, commercial, utility, and data center projects for some of the most influential companies in the world. Beyond that, we are a people company. We build family, communities, and meaningful careers. Visit CEI.com today or connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or other social sites to see our openings and join our team.
Visit us at vcs.net.
We're the Pinole Valley High School cheerleaders.
And you're watching
the 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
Rodeo was not not so much a sport as it is a way of life for Jana and William Santoni. From the moment this brother and sister duo were born, their lifestyle on the ranch began.
They were real little, but we'd still bring them out and they'd hang out during Brandon's and gathering and all that. And just as we've moved on to different places, they've just grown and kept moving along the same way we did.
The Santoni family has grown up owning ranches around the United States for several generations. The family currently owns a whopping 20 horses, several calves, a handful of bulls, and some of the smartest dogs in the agricultural business. In order to keep the animals in tip-top shape, it's Jana and William's job to attend to their animals' daily needs on top of their rigorous schoolwork.
Living in this lifestyle it's hard. You gotta do a lot of things to make different things better. Sacrifice a lot of things for what you want to do.
Every day I come home, I finish my homework as fast as I can and come out, feed all 20-something head of horses that are here and start riding as many as I can get through.
Jana and William belong to the California High School Rodeo Association and spend their weekends traveling around the Golden State competing. Instead of focusing on just one event, the Santonis try and master them all.
I do breakaway roping, team roping, pole bending, and barrel racing.
Participate in bull riding, team roping, and calf roping.
And while in many sports you must gain the trust of your human teammate, in this sport it's the trust you must have with your animal.
It's easy to grow with your horses the more you ride them. So when you get to practice on them every day, you become more confident in yourself.
You could just see as the more they competed and the more they won, that the more they enjoyed it and wanted to keep growing with it, and then putting them on horses and competing. You can just see where they excelled themselves.
From bull riding to team roping and barrel racing and pole bending, both Jana and William know which events are their favorites.
Poles and breakaway are probably my two favorites, but they're all different. They all take various skills of like horsemanship.
Bull riding, you usually get a little nervous before you get on, but once you get over them, you get way calmer. You think about what you're supposed to do, and then try your best as hard as you can.
The sport of rodeo takes a huge amount of dedication and sacrifice, but the joy of the competition and the bond with the animals is something neither of these teens would trade for anything.
I've gotten to have horses like this and have the experiences I've had, like, pretty lucky. And I don't know, it's a different way to grow up, a very different way to grow up, but you learn so much. And you really have to work for everything, and you learn that hard work really pays off.
Another day on the ranch comes to an end as the sun sets behind the western hills of rural Livermore. Jana and William are done for this day on the ranch, only to go inside and take care of their homework. The two will do it all again in the morning, taking care of their chores before heading off to school.
Coming up, former Antioch star Najee Harris and his teammates on a Thanksgiving mission next.
Same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big bag plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right.
Tri-Counties Bank presents a unique brand of service with solutions, a welcoming and listening style of banking with solutions that help improve your financial well-being. With easy access to over 32,000 surcharge-free ATMs, advanced mobile banking, banker support by phone 7 days a week, and an extensive community-based branch network, you're never far from a friendly face. It's easy to switch to better banking. Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions.
Why choose Invisalign over other aligners?
Are they comfortable and safe to wear?
I asked her doctor for a better alternative to braces, and he said,
only Invisalign aligners are made with SmartTrack technology.
Based on years of research, it moves teeth more comfortably and predictably than ordinary aligners. And in many cases, it works faster than braces. So I can develop a custom treatment plan that'll work for each of these smiles.
That's why Invisalign aligners have transformed millions of smiles.
Invisalign, transforming smiles, changing lives.
Hundreds of volunteers came to Malou Fitness bright and early Thanksgiving morning. Athletes who train here during the week, bringing their families to help their neighbors in need.
For me, it's not about schools. It's about teaching these young men that, you can compete on the field, but you still got to live life. And if you get them to mingle with each other, I mean, you can see it on the field. They know each other at the same time. It's all clean and fun. But at the same time, I think they understand that it's a bond between everybody that works out here.
Well, I'm here just to serve because a lot of people, they can't really have what my family has. Like, they can't afford a turkey, so we're just out here giving them a turkey, giving them the Thanksgiving that they deserve.
The volunteers put together about 500 Thanksgiving dinners to hand out to people living in the nearby low-income apartments. The volunteers also donated clothing and gifts for local families who dropped by to make their holiday a little brighter.
It warms my heart just to see how much other people care to make a difference in the community and just doing God's work, and it's just really heartwarming to see all this.
It's really nice and I really love it. And my daughter loves her new toys, and everybody in there was just very warming and really nice, so it really makes me happy.
Then the volunteers took to the road, packing up Thanksgiving meals and bringing them to the homeless scattered throughout Antioch.
We don't live in the best community, but we try to make the best out of it with everybody in the community. It might not be the best area to live in, it might not be the nicest area to live in, but we try to make the best of it. And for the people around here in this neighborhood, we try to make everything and every day the best as possible.
I think this is awesome. This is probably one of the best plates I've ever seen for Thanksgiving. And I mean, everybody out here, nobody's going hungry. This is very cool, man. Thank you, guys.
The athletes come from schools all around Antioch and beyond, including the nation's top recruit, Najee Harris, who wants this kind of giving to be part of his future.
It's something I told myself too before any of this. I told myself it's always good to give back. So it's something I'm gonna do throughout my whole life.
It's all part of the sports community coming together to help others less fortunate than these outstanding athletes.
So when we give back, it just sort of shows that we appreciate what we have and we're willing to give back to the community. And it shows that all jokes aside, that we play against each other. We might have, I guess you call, we might have beef on the field, but when we are out here, we all love each other and we care for each other to help out.
In just a few hours, 500 meals were handed out. 500 people receiving an unexpected Thanksgiving dinner and the warmth from their neighbors they had never met.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Each week we bring you stories of athletes who are outstanding for a variety of reasons.
Tonight, Robert Bronstein introduces us to one of the Bay Area's best soccer players. She's headed to Stanford next season and leading her high school team this season.
When your soccer game starts with a rainbow, you might just think you're something special. Tegan McGrady is something special. Tegan is a national team player and a top student who will play at Stanford on scholarship next year. Tegan did not play for her high school team last season. She traveled with the national team and worked hard to keep up her grades. But this year, Tegan put all her efforts to her school, playing her senior season on the varsity with her classmates.
I really wanted to be able to represent my school because as I took a break last year, I just found that I really miss being able to play with girls that have gone to my school and still go to my school and just still form bonds that, may never leave my life.
Well, she's definitely some good inspiration for the team. I look up to her and I aspire to be her too. Like going to Stanford, that's a big accomplishment, and I try to do that too, try to follow her footsteps.
In terms of stats, goals, assists, normally in a game she's doing one of those. So I think it gives everybody a total lift.
When the game that starts with a rainbow continues with a downpour, you might not think you're so special anymore. But for Tegan, there is no place she'd rather be, even if it's not soccer at the highest level.
I see it as more of a challenge, as something that I can take upon myself because not everything's always going to go your way and what you want. So I just take it as something as a learning process and being able to go out there and even give other girls encouragement and find ways to play to their level.
From what I've seen when we played, she's a really hard worker. She is really fast. She has a lot of speed, a lot of footwork skills.
and she seems like a really positive influence on her team.
Tegan plays left back for the national team, and that will be her spot at Stanford. But for the Saints, she plays left forward, always marked closely by the opposition. Tegan says it all helps in the long run.
I actually like it a lot. In a way, it actually helps me for my left back position because the national team and Stanford have been telling me that they're always going to want me as a left back to keep pushing up and playing forward and getting it up and down the field. So being a forward on my high school team is really helping me attack more.
When the game that starts with a rainbow ends in a soaking, soggy victory, you know this is something special. How was that?
Oh, it was a fun game. Oh, great.
A senior season with your teammates playing the game you love, knowing a rainbow goes away, but your friends, your teammates, last forever. Up next, a day in the life of one of the Bay Area's all-time great players. Time running down in a battle for first place between Mitty and Sacred Heart Cathedral. Aaron Gordon has played a great game as the Monarchs try and hold on for the win. The Irish with the ball. The potential game-tying shot is up with 3.4 seconds to play. 12 hours earlier, Gordon wakes up to the alarm on his cell phone. Another day begins in the life of this high school basketball star. As Aaron gets ready for school, his dad Ed is downstairs working on breakfast as his mom Shelley is about to leave for work. It's the same routine the family has practiced for many years. Aaron's brother Drew, now playing at New Mexico, and his sister Elizabeth, now at Harvard, kept the same schedule. The Gordons are a basketball family. It helps Aaron that his brother has gone through all of this before.
It helps a lot. I got to give him a lot of credit for paving the way for me, actually. What to do, what not to do, how to not let the media really influence how you are as a person.
At school, Aaron walks through campus and through the halls of Archbishop Mitty as just one of the crowd, though he admits at times he is treated differently.
A little bit. I mean, that's just because I'm 6'8", and I kind of have the presence when I walk in the room.
Lunchtime for this elite athlete means tacos and M&Ms. Definitely the meal of a champion. But that's what Aaron is. His team won a state title last year. He's one of the top recruits in the nation with the skills of a point guard at 6'8".
As of right now, I don't think that way at all because I haven't made it anywhere really. As I get older and maybe get a little bit more fame, and I'm just going to try and keep my personality and keep being myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to change just because the game changes me.
Schoolwork is something Aaron has learned to master. After struggling his freshman year, he has blossomed into an outstanding student, earning a 3.5 GPA this past semester. Though with basketball, it's never easy.
Once basketball season starts, my time management struggles a lot, but I mean, I know I have to be a student and an athlete so I can just be an athlete in the future.
After school on game day means a walkthrough for the team, on this day going through the game plan for Sacred Heart Cathedral. Mitty had already lost one league game and could not afford another loss to the Irish and their outstanding big man, Taylor Johns.
I don't think I've been this amped for a game in a while.
The team eats dinner together in a classroom next to the gym while a freshman team battles on the court. Gordon will spend the next 3 hours waiting for his game to start. He says he sometimes takes a nap before the game, but with this bundle of energy, it's hard to imagine he could ever sleep before a big game. Instead, he goes over today's stack of recruiting letters. He opens one from Georgia, saying they have written a lot, so they deserve some love. Gordon has not decided where he will play in college, but he knows what will be the biggest factor in making a decision.
Definitely the coach. The coach has to be a player's coach, and the basketball part of it, I needed to be an up-tempo team because I'm an energy player, and that's going to get me going.
Between the freshman and JV games, Gordon shoots, sometimes with a backpack, sometimes listening to music, sometimes both. As proof of how much time he spends in this gym, Gordon shows me a trick shot he has perfected. Off the rafters, nothing but net. Piece of cake.
Box out every time.
The varsity game is finally approaching as the Mitty team meets in the locker room to go over the game plan one last time.
Aaron Gordon.
From the start, Gordon is awesome, playing a variety of positions. His presence is unmistakable on the court. Still, the game is tight, tied 18-all after one. The second quarter is vintage Gordon. First, a top-of-the-key three-pointer to show his range, and then, after a block shot and outlet pass, this incredible put-back dunk.
Funny thing about that is I kind of had to push myself to go get that rebound because I know I was sick, so I was like, dang, this is about to be a lot of energy. I didn't expect him to miss it, but I mean, if he did miss it, I'd be beating myself up after the game if I didn't get that tip dunk, you know what I mean?
But a Taylor Johns dunk beats the buzzer and ties the game at the half. It's 8:05 in the locker room at halftime, more than 13 hours since this day started for Aaron Gordon. Coach Tim Kennedy is not happy with the team's defensive effort in the first half.
Here, they're shooting 73%.
As Gordon continues his acrobatics, the Monarchs build an 8-point lead, but in the fourth quarter, that lead dwindles. The Irish have fouls to give, and they give Gordon one to remember. Aaron's not happy, but after pleading his case, he moves on, not risking a technical foul with just a 1-point lead. The Irish with the ball. The potential game-tying shot is up with 3.4 seconds to play.
Basketball is my life, and I love it so much, and I just want to take it as far as I possibly can.
Got the W, baby, let's go. Just another game in the West Catholic League, another day in the life of Aaron Gordon. After the game, he enjoys the win with his classmates, does an interview for the San Jose newspaper, all part of the adventure.
Hey, I appreciate you following me around, showing everybody what the day in the life is like.
Coming up, let's go to the beach with some Bay Area high school surfers next.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers now. You sure I can do this?
Yeah, it's what we've been planning for.
Thank you. Hey, boy.
Hey, baby.
You know how I said I've been working on something big, right?
Sure.
This house is officially yours. You own it.
At U.S. Bank, we believe hard work works.
That's the look.
And our integrated approach to wealth management helps make sure your money keeps working as hard as you do.
Devcon Construction is #1 in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley because of trust. 95% of our business comes from repeat customers. They know the customer is our top priority. That's why Devcon was the choice for the 49ers Stadium and for the Earthquake Stadium. Devcon was also chosen when outstanding schools like Bellarmine, the Nueva School, and Mitty wanted the very best on time and on budget. Top Bay Area companies know Devcon is the best choice whether it's new construction or renovation. Devcon Construction, helping to build the best in Silicon Valley.
When I first came here, my goal was to be a contributing player on my high school's JV football team. The center actually not only helped me achieve my goals, but exceed even what I initially set out to do. I was able to continue playing football professionally through a lot of the things that I learned at the Rega Center. The Rega Center is a place to help you achieve your goals and then, tailor it to whatever the person's goals might be.
Welcome to beautiful Capitola, California, where the Half Moon Bay Surf Club is getting ready to hit the waves in the thrilling Scholastic Surf competitions.
It's not like the other sports where it's like you get told what to do. Like when you're in the water, you do what you want, and it's like really free.
I used to do baseball, and I just wasn't into the scene there because of all the coaches and the dads that wanted to be coaches and all those parents. But it's a lot more mellow here, so I kind of like the scene more.
The swell in Santa Cruz today is one of the best they've seen in weeks. Waves here are different from what they are used to in Half Moon Bay, but they came prepared for anything.
Just this year we became a team, so we're an official California high school team sport now. Before, it was just a club activity. And we all want to see the kids improve. We cheer for the other team's kids when they do something, and that's really unusual. I think for me that was a really, really important difference.
The contest lasts all day with multiple divisions and events. Half Moon Bay has a team full of depth and talent, with riders competing on all types of boards.
To prepare, we just talk about it like with our coaches, and they tell us where to sit. We just kind of go out there and do our own thing.
A lot of it's like sizing up your competition and checking out the waves, like if you're sitting in the right position or not.
And the second heat gets a little bit more stressful because there's better surfers that have made it through. I kind of just try and stay as relaxed as possible and just be like, oh, it doesn't really matter that much, just go surf.
We're looking to catch at least 2 waves when you first start, just because you need the points, and then you usually go out on the back and try to catch a set wave to kind of like bump up your score. If you're able to get those waves really fast, you can sit on the outside and have more time to catch like bigger, more epic waves.
The competition is timed, so only a limited number of waves are available to surfers each round, so they have to be ready for whatever wave comes their way.
You see that transition to a point where they have that really good self-confidence, and I think that's also what surfing gives.
And now it's got a lot more funding, a lot more organization, and a lot more kids. And that's kind of fun because it's almost like a little club / group, and they all hang together and surf together, and they all push each other.
Coming down the line, looking for a big move. Number 2 could be the wave of the morning.
The other day, I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna finish an essay, and then I didn't go surfing, and then at 4:30 I was like, I gotta go surfing. It's kind of like a habit, kind of addicted to surfing.
When you go out there and surf, you don't really have to focus on any other thing. You don't really have school in mind, or you don't really have whatever your job is in mind. It's just kind of, you're in the moment a lot of the time. So it's definitely a good escape, and I wouldn't have that same feeling if I played any other sport, really.
You're completely immersed. You're kind of, everything that you're doing is dependent on what's going on around you. I mean, it's the only sport that an otter can pop up 2 feet away from you.
Coming up, the coach and his biker buddies helping out, but first, here is our final Cupertino Electric boys basketball poll for the season.
'49ers Cal High Sports Report is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Cupertino Electric, the company delivering power and possibilities and celebrating student athletes making a positive impact. By Invisalign, winning smiles start here. Learn more at Invisalign.com. By Stanford Healthcare. And by the Serino Group, here for good.
Hi, I'm Lucy Wiedemeyer, longtime broker with Serino Group. And my husband, Charlie Wiedemeyer, and I are longtime supporters of high school sports.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Pazine with Serino Group Real Estate, representing Palo Alto and the surrounding communities. I'm proud to support Bay Area high school sports on the 49er Cal High Sports Report.
To me, he's always been known as Big Chuck. No question the head baseball coach at Homestead High is big, but there's also no question this big man has a big heart. Chuck Blair loves his bike, always has. With his biking buddies, Chuck and the gang create quite a presence wherever they go. That presence is the main purpose for Bikers Against Child Abuse.
I was looking for a new riding outlet, and I ran into some friends that were involved with BACA, and once I heard that, the cause to empower children of abuse, so I went and got involved and did my 1 year of service, and ended up being 2 years of service, and we started our chapter here in Silicon Valley, and now we're a full charter chapter, and it's been great, very rewarding.
What BACA does is use the bikers' image as tough guys to protect children who are victims of abuse, like the girl who was recently abused by her coach. She wasn't sure what to make of these bikers at first, but soon she realized this was a good group to have on her side.
Since the whole case has gone through, we've gone to rides with her, and done all kinds of stuff, take her on rides, gone to her soccer practices to make her feel secure. Now her perpetrator has pleaded out and took a long sentence, and if you met her today, from when you met her on day one, you'd understand what BACA is all about. She had no one supporting her when this first went down, and now with our support, and she's outgoing and talking, and it's rewarding.
BACA's local president was himself a victim of abuse as a child. He wishes BACA had been part of his battle.
I wouldn't have felt alienated, and it would allow me to testify in court easier, because it took him probably 1.5 years to get me to testify, because I was only 13 at the time.
Big Chuck makes his living as a real estate agent, but nearly every free hour goes to either coaching baseball or riding with BACA. 2 ways he can help make the lives of young people a little bit easier.
We couldn't have children Children have a soft spot in my heart, and it's just, it's kind of what I've dedicated my life to a little bit, I guess.
Well, I think it's great. I think it's great for Chuck, and I think it's great for the people that he's helping. I know it means a lot to him. It's become a kind of a community in addition to the baseball community that he's immersed himself in, and it's clearly doing good things.
These big-hearted bikers are living off an image of being tough, but what they're doing is showing abused children they are not alone, that when they stand up to their abusers, these bikers stand with them.
We had a case a few years ago. I went with some people in Sacramento, and the child was scared to testify in court. And once 50 bikers rolled up, took him for a ride, hung out. After we left, the mother had called us and said, "Hey, my son's all excited." He said, "I'll testify now, Mom. I got a bunch of biker friends."
And these biker friends are pretty good friends to have. Champ Peterson is in his 3rd year at the Football Stars camp. He goes to junior college in Southern California, but loves to come back to the Bay Area to be part of this camp every year.
The fun part for me is to be around people aware of who I am and just be the people I care about. The coaches are doing good. The coaches are doing good over here. The staff and everybody like that is doing very well here.
Champ and his best friend Trevor are part of this group of players with Down syndrome and similar challenges. Most are big fans of the game and their favorite team, the San Francisco 49ers. So having some former 49er players and coaches as part of the camp is great for the players and the coaches.
We're just having a blast out here. This what Coach Machado's doing and everybody here at Valley with what's going on is a real special event. And for anybody to come and be a part of this is an honor to just be asked to be a part of it.
Like any camp, the players go through a variety of drills. Valley Christian hosts the camp, and their head football coach, Mike Machado, is well aware these campers have different needs. Severe Down syndrome often means neck problems, so Machado makes sure these athletes get special care after the catch to protect them from injury.
Good job, bud.
Former 49er Dana Stubblefield coaches at Valley Christian and is now a familiar face at the camp.
That makes us feel great. Something we see us doing down the road in the future for a long time. But it's great to come back out here, and we see these guys around the neighborhood as well. So it's just not just a weekend camp for us, but a long-lasting friendship.
With the drills done, the players get ready for the big game. They dress in the locker room, get last-minute advice from the coach.
We're going to do a West Coast style, okay?
And then the motivational speech from the team captain.
Yeah, just believe in yourself out there. Just play hard out there and be the best. Be the best. Be the best is your dreams. Catch it. Catch your dreams.
These players are very competitive, as you can tell as the names are announced. They are fired up and ready to play. Some guy named Steve Mariucci is the referee.
Will receive. You guys are sort of kicking off. Shake hands and let's play ball.
The game is exciting with lots of big plays. One potential big play goes bad when the coach drops the ball, and that's why he played defense for the 49ers. The players fight hard to win, so sometimes this friendly game of flag football turns into a fierce battle of tackle. There are big plays for touchdowns where it really is a touchdown, and then there are other scoring plays where the flag was pulled but the player goes for the score anyway. I'm not sure which team won the game. All the players seemed thrilled just to be part of it. There were post-game hugs, cheers from the fans, and a fist pump to show this game was truly a winner. Coming up, a hockey star playing with the boys. Her story is next. But first, here is this week's training tip by our good friends at the Rikus Center.
Hi, I'm Coach Davon, and today's exercise is a hip mobility stretch. Great exercise to stretch out your hamstring, hip flexors, as well as your back. So Josh here is going to start by reaching down to the ground to stretch his hamstrings, squat down, take one hand and reach up, preceded by the other hand. Then going to take both hands, reach up, stand back up, and that is the hip mobility stretch.
When you show up to the Silver Creek Sports Complex to watch some inline hockey, the last thing you're expecting to see is a long blonde ponytail coming out of one of the helmets. That would be Carly Marquis. The 15-year-old sophomore plays for the Willow Glen inline hockey team at the Division I level. just one of a few women competing in the top league.
My dad and my brother both played, and I'd always go to their games and watch, and it just kind of like, I was there anyways, so I tried playing it and I ended up loving it.
When you look at Carly, the last thing you would guess is her sport is roller hockey. She's a cute, bubbly teenager who always seems to be smiling, but she's great in the rink as well. She's a captain for one of her travel teams while anchoring the Willow Glen defense, but being a female in a male-dominated sport has its quirks.
There's times where I feel like it's pretty much the same, like being a guy and a girl playing hockey, but then other times I feel like sometimes people might go easier on me, but then other times they might go harder just because I'm a girl and they want to be better than me.
And sometimes guys just plain don't know how to play Carly.
Like someone will be trying to guard me and I feel like they just don't know what to do. Sometimes people won't even do anything, I find. Like, once I get someone who doesn't know me, they're kind of like shocked almost. Normally I'll like push them just so they know that they can push me, just to give them a little like hint, I guess.
Carly has competed in the AAU Junior Olympics the last 2 seasons and 4 other leagues each year, while having traveled to Toronto and Hawaii to compete. All this time in the rink has earned Carly some respect in the boys' game locally.
Well, I've known her for about 3 years now, and she's totally energetic. If you saw her opportunity to see her in games and things like that, she's like one of the guys. She's all over. She's just as rough as they are, and so she's a delight to coach and have around. She doesn't back down from anybody, no matter big. There's guys that are fairly big that are playing in the first division, and she competes against them, full blast all the time. So that's really her strength, is her enthusiasm and her hustle and things like that. And she's quite aggressive.
It's pretty cool because she can compete at the same level as everyone else on the team, and not many girls can do that. She's got the mentality and everything. She's just as good as everyone else out here. I think they're more surprised and just like where did that come from? Like I wouldn't expect that from a girl.
Carly uses any edge to its fullest advantage. That's why you'll see her zipping up and down the rink.
Speed is my main, what I'm the best at. I'm pretty fast. It makes it so I can go up and help offense while I can still get back and be able to get back to my position in time to defend.
Carly keeps up with the boys and sometimes even sets the pace, but she still has to deal with being a girl in a male-dominated sport.
I get, sometimes I'll be playing and guys will, say stuff to me like, oh, you're cute, or, funny stuff like that, and I just kind of laugh at it because it's funny.
Carly laughs all the way to the bank most times out as the sophomore continues her assault on local hockey, breaking glass ceilings along the way.
That's our 49ers Cal High Sports Report for this week. Join us next week when we spend the season with Valley Christian football. We'll see you then.